And the stars of Mad Men, Jon Hamm, Elisabeth Moss, John Slattery, Christina Hendricks, and January Jones and Matthew Weiner, the show's creator and executive producer, all join us here in the studio. Nice to see you all. How are you doing?
Nice to see you.
Very well. Thanks for having us.
Sit back and take it in for a moment. Is this the last time we'll see you together in a long time?
Yes.
Yes? Goodbye. You've made that decision. The shooting for all of this happened a while ago.
Yes.
Right? So it's wrapped. You've done your jobs. Raise your hand if you're a little bit nervous, because this tends to happen with great series, that the audience is going to file in the next day and go, oh, it's not how we wanted it to end. Are you nervous about that? No?
Always. But I'm like that about every episode.
Yeah? Do you think you have done justice to each of these characters in their final episode?
I hope so. I mean, we followed the story. You know, every show has its own ending, and we followed the story, and the writers and myself, we tried to find the right thing for the characters. That's what drove it. So there's no device, you know, there's no big secret that has to be revealed or anything. So it's sort of the end of the story.
All right, a couple of random samplings. And John, you happy with the way it ends for your character?
I am. I was surprised when I read it, and but I think Matthew did. What's most difficult is to be surprising, and then after you read it, you think, well, that's made sense. It seems inevitable that that's the way it would have turned out.
Ladies, what about you? Happy with the way it ended for your characters?
I was really happy. I was surprised, but also...
How did you manage to surprise all these people?
Every week. I mean, every episode, I was so surprised.
Know. He wasn't surprised because I told him like 4 years ago.
Did he really?
I don't know if he was surprised when I told him.
Yeah, I just thought that turning Don into a zombie was a weird choice. I thought,
very popular
I mean, I thought like, yeah, it's a thing. He was ahead of the curve, but I was still like, what?
And inevitable.
Are we broadcasting
Right now, we're on live now.
Thanks, John.
We were on a plane not long ago. He shared everything with me. He told me the entire story.
I thought that plane was going down, man. I had to get it off my chest. I had to unload. You're welcome.
In this day and age where everything leaks, where on social media you can find out just about anything, how have you managed to keep this a secret?
Well, I mean, not a lot of us are active kind of social media-ites. There's a few Instagrammers and tweeters, but not very, you know, for the modern world, we're pretty Luddite in that sense. So I guess that's how. I don't know.
We were never a part of that. Our show kind of was around before all of that became crazy, so it was never really our thing. So it's been easy to stay out of it.
With all the 7 seasons, 8 years, the critical acclaim, is this a little like a gymnastics routine? Does it all come down to sticking the landing at the end?
I hope not. I mean, I watch TV. I mean, that's, you know, there's 92 hours of it. I'd hate for 1 hour to undo that. But that is, you know, your worst nightmare. I don't know. I mean, it's so organically related to it. The show is not that kind of show that has, like, super, I don't want to say it's not dramatic, but it doesn't have super, you know, we've never changed the style of the show. And I think because it happens on a human scale and it's related to people's real lives, they should expect the story to be in that vein.
Who's got an anecdote, going back now to the beginning, of when you knew that the show had become a big deal? Was there anything that happened to any of you went, wow, this thing is off and running?
For me, I remember, between season 1 and 2, we were shooting. You know, we were there at LA Center Studios, which is not a big studio, and we were just kind of grinding it out. And the show aired and was very well received critically. But I think the difference between season 1 and season 2, when people were DVRing the show and you could all of a sudden save a show and hear about it and go back to the beginning, there was a big jump, I think, between those 2 seasons, for me anyway.
Suffice it to say, in the beginning, this was Don Draper's story. We were kind of, the world
Seeing
was...
somebody in a Halloween costume from the show.
Oh, that's when you knew?
Yeah.
Right.
So I saw, and I had predicted this. I said, if we see a man dressed as Joan at Halloween, we have made it. and that was me.
Yeah. We tied.
Actually, Rich actually dressed as Joan.
Oh, did he? Maybe that's who it.
This was Don's story to begin, but it seems to me that Peggy, while she started off as a secretary, perfect for the times, she became in some ways the heart of the show. Did it also become Peggy's story?
What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, that's very difficult for me to answer, obviously. I've always viewed this as very much of Don's story and then the rest of us, So it's hard for me to say. I mean, I've been very grateful for everything that I've gotten to do on the show. And I think she is the sort of face of feminism in the workplace on the show, which is a big story in the 60s.
Yeah, I've always said that it's not a mistake that the series starts on Peggy's first day at work. I think it is very much these parallel lines that are running through this very particular place in this very particular time, and these two parallel tracks on how people get ahead in that time.